Hey guys, so today we're going to be breaking down Garlic Jr. and Goku and Piccolo. They're coming out today on a Mega Rising banner. This is part 2 of the Z Movies celebration. Let's start with Garlic Jr. This is obviously everybody's most anticipated character of all time. It's more hype than Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. All right, let's take a look. So he's a defense purple character. Okay. Let's go ahead and show his max stats here. It's a lot of defense. That is, it's like mid 180s to his defense. Remember, he's a transforming character, so he's going to have even higher defense when he transforms, supposedly. Offenses are pretty bad, though. That is, those are very bad. So he's going to have mid 230 strike attack and 230 blast attack. That is horrible. But obviously defense, I think, is where this character is supposed to excel at. So, or what this character is supposed to excel at. So that's good. Okay, good. They did put him on regen. I was a bit worried they wouldn't do that, but they did. So regen, powerful opponent, and movies. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, he holds a normal strike and a blast. His strike card is 10% to strike damage inflicted by allies for 10 counts. That's interesting. So he's actually supporting with that. No blast armor pre-transformation. I would be shocked if we didn't have blast armor when he transformed, though. Blast damage up. Okay, so he's actually supporting on both his strike and blast cards for the whole team. Interesting. Blue card is Death Dance. Deals massive impact damage. Applies the following effects to self-pun activation. First Vanishing Gauge by 100%. Activates once. 30% of special move damage inflicted for 3 counts. And then inflicts enemy with attribute downgrade plus 20 to strike and blast arts cost for 20 timer counts on hit. Vanishing Gauge by 100% is obviously very good. I imagine you're probably only really going to use one of these blue cards before you transform regardless. So the fact that it's once only doesn't really matter that much, I don't think. But yeah, pretty good. Okay, the green card is Overflowing Demonic Power. Looks like a stop time green card. Restores own ki by 40. 20% damage for 15 counts. Restores all of your enemy strike arts cards. Reduces enemies Dragon Balls by 1. Okay, not an insane green card by any means, but again, you're really only going to be using like 1 or 2 of these before you transform with the character anyway. Hidden main ability, Hidden Malice, transforms into Super Garlic Jr. Destroys all of your own cards and draws 4 strike arts cards. Okay, so that's... He better have cover null then when he transforms, because it's going to be super obvious what your hand is going to be when you transform with this character. He's going to have a full hand of strikes, and you know that for sure as the opponent. Restores own health by 30% and ki by 80. Oh, that's a lot. Cancels own attribute downgrades and conditions. Inflicts all enemies with... Okay, never mind. Inflicts all enemies with 5 subcounts. The reason why that's so good is because even though you're getting a full hand of strikes, your opponent can't switch, right? Because 5 subcount increase, so you don't need to worry about your opponent cover changing against you right away because they can't switch. So that's good. 35% to movies, regen, or powerful opponent strike and blast defense, both defenses, and then 18% to regen base strike attack. Okay, so she's giving an additional buff to regen. Unique ability number 1. All right, so the following effects occur when battle starts. 100% damage inflicted, reduced damage received by 70%, 40% to ki recovery. Gradually restores health each timer count. Okay. Nullifies unfavorable element factors for damage sustained for 40 counts. Okay, so he's type neutral defensively for 40 counts, which again, that is an uncancelable effect, so that is actually going to carry over to the transformed state as well. All these uncancelable buffs are going to carry over. Let me just see, how fast can he transform? 25. Okay, so they didn't make it shorter. It's 25. So when the timer hits 155, you'll be able to transform. Applies the following effects to if this character is the leader. Oh, if this character is the leader. The only other character that I think had an effect like this is like Blue Goku Black. Applies attribute upgrade, shortens subcount by 1 to self. Applies buff effect, nullifies abnormal conditions up to 2 times to allies. And nullifies attribute downgrades to allies. Okay, so it's not like a game-changing thing if he's not in the leader slot, but that is still nice to have. A permanent -1 to own subcount is pretty good. And you don't have to worry about as much Rage Shenron's paralysis and stuff, I guess. Following effects occur when this character enters the battlefield. There's a lot. This is his first unique ability. Draws 1 new card when you have 3 or fewer cards. Restores own key by 20. 80% damage inflicted. That's a lot. Shortens ally sub count by 1. Inflicts all enemies with attribute downgrade minus 10% to strike and blast arts power 5 counts. Inflicts all enemies with attribute downgrade minus 40% to ultimate and awakened arts power for 5 counts. Following effects occur when this character is switched to standby. Randomly draws 1 new card when you have 3 or fewer cards. Shortens own sub count by 5. Okay, so that's going to combo with this then if he's in leader slot. So he's actually going to be reducing his own sub count by 6, which is so he can swap back in after 4 counts. Okay. 15% of damage inflicted by allied tag regen for 10 counts. And then 50% to allied movies key recovery for 10 counts. Honestly, they should have just mixed those together. It should have just been 15% damage and 50% key recovery to movies and regen. Not really sure why they're only giving the regen side the damage inflicted, but sure. Granted Wish of Immortality. Knocks enemy back to long range of a cover change performed against blast attacks. That's good. Most characters have strike cover changes, so this guy having a blast cover change is very good. The following effects occur every time the enemy uses an arts card while this character is on the battlefield. Restores on health by 3%. Okay, he's healing every time. 10% damage inflicted for 20 counts. Reduces enemy key by 5. Following effects also occur based on the type of arts used by the enemy. Strike or blast arts. Inflicts enemy with attribute downgrade minus 30% to key recovery. Okay, that's going to stack up. So it's going to be harder to combo. Special, so green cards. Reduce enemy key by 35. Wow, that's actually pretty annoying. That is pretty annoying, actually. Whenever the enemy uses a green card, they get 35 key taken away. Blue cards. Restores unhealth by 10%. Activates 3 times. And then Ultimate or Awakened restores ally health by 10%. Shortens ally subcount by 4 when enemy activates a special move arts, ultimate arts, awakened arts, or rising rush. Shortens own subcount by 4 when enemy activates a special move. Oh, well, this character's on standby. Okay, so you can immediately... So you swap out of this character, you can immediately swap into this character if the enemy rushes or does an ultimate or something. Which wouldn't really matter if... Because he doesn't have endurance, so... Huh. Okay. Well, let's see what his stats look like when he transforms. Yeah. Okay, so he's going to be mid-190s for defense. And then his offenses do also go up quite a bit, too. He's going to be mid-250 for strike attack, high 130s for blast. Again, offense is not really too great, but his defenses are looking pretty crazy, actually. His defenses, Jesus. Okay. Obviously, nothing there changes. Yeah, of course, he gains blast armor when he transforms, and he retains the support, too, for allies, which is nice. The blue card... Wait, did he not have blast armor on this blue card before transforming? He doesn't have blast armor on the blue, huh? Okay. Okay, so after transforming, massive impact damage, restores vanishing gauge by 100%, 40% to special move damage inflicted for 3 counts. Is that the same exact effect that he has prior to transforming? 30% and then 20-20. Okay, so he just gets 10% more damage on this than the and also blast armor, of course, is pretty big. The green card is the Death Smash. This is a melee green, it looks like. Blast armor. Following effects occur when upon activation. Restores own key by 50. 20% damage for 15 counts. There's cover null for 10 counts. Cancels enemy buff effects. Activates 3 times. Which is on activation, so that's pretty good. Randomly draws at most 2 new cards on hit when you have 3 or fewer cards. Okay. I'm not really a huge fan of melee greens as much right now, but he gets cover null from this, which is nice. All right, main ability. Draws a special move arts card next. Restores unhealth by 20% and key by 50. Oh, he gains endurance nullification on main ability. That's pretty good. So, like, you're fighting... I mean, this is the same thing as, like, Fusion Zamasu, right? You're fighting, I don't know. Blue Kid Buu is on the field. You can pop this and rush, and Kid Buu's going to die, or even if they go to, like, Ultimate Gohan, he would die to this, so that's pretty good. 50% to the next special move damage inflicted, sure. Alrighty. Let me just quickly tally up what his damage is going to be before he even transforms. So he's getting 100% right away. That's going to carry over. And then I think the 80% will carry over as well, because it's uncancelable. Yeah, 80%. So he's actually entering the transform state with 180% damage, it looks like. So he's getting 20% damage here, 40% strike damage. So that's going to be like 240% strike damage, essentially. Reduces impact and explode damage received by 10%. Okay, that's really good. A lot of characters have been getting stuff like this recently, like Transform Super Vegito has this too. So he's got 70% reduced damage received from the pre-transform state, and then on top of that, he's getting 10% from this. Yeah, that's because most damage is impact damage in this game. 30% to health restoration for 40 counts. Reduces health, or restores health by 25%. Okay, so he has endurance when he transforms. Okay, that's... I mean, that makes sense, but it doesn't really make sense that they designed him the way they did prior to transforming when he doesn't have endurance. So, I don't know, a little bit weird there, but at least he does grab endurance when he transforms. Nullifies unfavorable element factors for damage sustained for 40 counts. Okay, that's good. So type neutral defensively. Applies buff effect. Nullifies enemies. Destroy card effects for 5 counts. Sure. So that's because he draws a full hand of strikes when he transforms. I guess that's just so if you're fighting against a character that's going to like destroy your cards when you're comboing them, that's to negate that, which makes sense. Following effects occur when this character enters the battlefield. Randomly draws 1 new card when you have 3 or fewer cards. Restores his own key by 40. Shortens allies subcount by 1. Inflicts enemy with -1 card draw speed for 5 counts. Inflicts all enemies with attribute downgrade -10% to strike and blast arts power and 40% to ultimate and awaken power. Following effects occur when this character is switched to standby. Draws a card, 15% damage for regen, 50% key recovery. That's the same thing for movies. Increases own arts card draw speed by 1 level for 4 counts every time this character uses a strike arts. He has card draw speed in base, right? Did I miss this? Oh, does he not have card draw speed? Damage inflicted. Yeah, he doesn't have card draw speed there. Okay. He gains a card here when he enters. Is that it? This character does not have card draw speed. He doesn't have card draw speed. Yeah, he doesn't have card draw speed in base. It's a little weird. Okay. Not entirely sure why they thought that was good. Okay, I mean, he gets 1 card draw speed level every time he uses a strike card. So that's gonna, so it's 4 counts. 4 counts is long enough to where you can like sort of maintain double card draw speed, I think, with him, which is obviously fine. Him not having card draw speed in base is a little strange. Applies the following effects itself upon landing a strike arts hit. 20% to strike damage inflicted for 5 counts. Activates 3 times. Okay. And then -3 to special move arts costs. So I guess what they're trying to set up with this guy is they want you to transform with him, lock in the enemy, and then just like spam strike cards and see if you can finish them off, I guess, is what they're trying to incentivize with this kit here. The second unique ability. Oh no, why'd they change it? Knocks enemies back and it's strike arts? Why don't they just keep it blast? That sucks. I wish they would have just kept this as blast, because blast is a lot more rare. Blast cover change? I'm not sure why they changed this to strike. I mean, if he's going to be used on movies, like almost every single movie's character has a strike coverage. I mean, I guess technically Golden Freeze has a blast cover change, so. But this guy's also purple. I did not think they would make this guy purple. Purple is not a very needed. I mean, let's just be completely open here. Is this guy going to be better than Golden Frieza? I would say probably no. I mean, I guess maybe I'm just like missing something, but I would say probably not. Probably not. Restores on health by 10% after enemy attack is over. Sure. Following effects occur every time the enemy uses an arts card while this character's in the battlefield. Heals by 3%. Heals by another 3%. Activates 7 times. So he's healing by 6% every time the opponent uses a arts card. 10% damage inflicted for 25 counts. That's a lot. Actually, that could stack up pretty high. Reduces enemy key by 5. And then I think these are the same effects down here as he has in base form. Shortens own sub count by 4 when an enemy activates a special move, arts, ultimate arts, awakened arts, or rising rush with this character in the battlefield. Yeah, or sorry, on standby. So yeah, this guy is going to work much more effectively in his transform state because he can actually switch into an enemy using a rush or an ultimate or something, and he should be able to live. Yeah, there's some obvious flaws here. I mean, this is kind of a standard Mega Rising designed character. I mean, you could, like, if you put this kit in front of me and you were like, what kind of banner is this character on? I would be able to tell you instantly that this is a Mega Rising character. Instantly. All right, let's go on to Goku and Piccolo. Ranged red? Wow, that's not... I didn't expect that at all. I got the colors completely wrong on both characters. This is... They just gave us Broly. And now they're giving... I mean, I guess... I assume that because this was the Z Movies celebration, they were going to try and focus more so on the movies team, but I don't think that's the case. I mean, I assume they want us to use Broly as the red character for movies, and then they just give us this character that's red also. Okay. So the good thing about this character is they should actually be on a lot of different teams. Let's go ahead and see what their stats are looking like. So they're ranged, actually. Ranged tag character. All right, I mean, stats are... Actually, defenses are pretty solid. Low 180s to defenses. That's pretty good. Low 250 blast, and then low to mid 240 strike. I could definitely... The stats could have been a little better here. Regen, Sun Family, Saiyan, and movies is a lot of teams. This character's on a lot of different teams. Normal strike. The blast card has damage cut penetration. Wow. Minus 20% to enemy sustained damage cut effects to sell for 5 counts. That's really good. I'm pretty sure... So, like, Purple Jiren... Let me just quickly... Purple Jiren has this. I'm pretty sure his is only 10%. Yeah. His is only 10%. It's on strikes. So this is actually a lot better. This is double the potency of that. And it's on blasts, which you can spam more quickly. Okay, that's actually pretty strong right away. Blue card, Demonic Dragon Spiral Kick. Okay, this is a blast armor blue card, massive impact damage, 20% to special move damage inflicted for 3 counts, minus 50%. Okay, so they have a lot of sustained damage cut penetration. Cannot be canceled. Draws a special arts card next on hit. Activates twice. And then blast armor. Demonic Roar. Oh god, it's an AoE green card. Restores ki by 40. Increases switch gauge by 60%. 25% of damage inflicted for 10 counts. And then on hit, he draws a card, 10 counts of cover null. Wow. This character is off to a very strong start here. Okay, so the switch ability goes to Goku. This character does actually have reverse red when they go to Goku. So Goku is reverse red and Piccolo is red. So the character starts as Piccolo. Draws a green card next, huh? Restores own health by 15% and 15% damage inflicted. Activates once. That's permanent. Okay. Z ability. Let me just go back to this. Z ability is 35% to movies, regen, or Sun Family blast attack and defense, and then 18% to regen strike attack. Why they buff strike or regen? That's a little weird. Okay, sure. Applies the following effects to self when battle starts or when this character enters the battlefield via tag switch. Charges switch gauge by 100%. So you literally just start the match off with a full... You can just... second one of the match, you can switch to Goku. That's actually pretty strong because if the opponent wants to go with a blue... Like, if the opponent thinks you're going to lead with this character and they lead with their blue character, you can simply just go to Goku right away. And you can maintain type advantage. That's pretty good. So they can't counter your Goku and Piccolo pick to lead off with them. 110% damage inflicted. 20% damage inflicted against tag Saiyan or Sun Family? Because it's Piccolo? Okay. Reduced damage received by 70%. Card draw speed. Minus 10 to blasters costs. And then 15% to health restoration. Effects reset when tag switching to Goku. Okay. Falling effects occur when this character enters the battlefield or enters the battlefield via tag switch. 35 key, 80% damage. So if you're fighting a Sun Family or Saiyan character, this character has 210% damage inflicted. Okay. Reduce damage received by 10% for 10 counts. Impact damage. Okay. That's, again, it's very good. Reduces enemy ki by 15. Randomly destroys one enemy card. Seals enemies Rising Rush for 3 counts. Huh. Applies the following effects itself every 3 timer counts when this character enters the battlefield or enters the battlefield via tag switch. Every 3 counts. That's like LF Kid Buu mechanic. Restores ki by 15. 10% damage inflicted up to 40%. That's permanent. 10% to special move damage inflicted up to 40%. Okay. It's a lot of damage. Effect resets after care. Oh, it resets. Okay, never mind. It's not permanent. So you want to stay in with one side, I guess? Huh. That's kind of contradictory to the concept of a tag character. Interesting. Applies the following effects itself upon landing a strike or a blast arts hit. Randomly draws 1 new card. Okay, that's pretty good. Activation count resets. Yep. Restores health by 3%. 15% damage inflicted. So they're stacking damage as well. Knocks enemy back against strike cards. Falling effects occur when enemy performs a cover change while this character is in the battlefield. Restores own ki by 30. Card draw speed. That's how they get double card draw speed. Yeah, they have card draw speed already. So you like AoE green card somebody, and they switch, and then they switch characters. You're going to get double card draw speed and ki. Seal enemies blue cards for 5 counts. We know how annoying that is with Super Vegito, right? For 5 counts, and then he also he seals blue cards, and then he also seals 1 random card as well. Applies the following effects to allies every time this every time the enemy uses an arts card with this character in the battlefield. 5% damage for 20 counts. 10% to ki recovery for 20 counts. Okay. Following effects occur when hit with an enemy's arts attack while this character is in the battlefield. 10% health, 20% switch gauge. 25% reduce enemy ki by 25. And then -1 arch card draw speed to the enemy. And then that resets. Cancels enemies' buff effects when enemy activates Ultimate, Awakened, or Rising Rush with this character's in the battlefield. Activates 3 times. So, I mean, they clearly want you to run this guy with Garlic Jr. I think is what they're trying to tell us here. Because Garlic Jr. is going to lower his sub count on standby, and he has endurance, and then this character's going to be deleting their buffs. Yeah, okay, I get it. Sure. All right, let's go to Goku. Same thing with the Blast. Draconic Demon Wave. Is it the same thing? Looks like it's the same exact effect as Piccolo. Let me just double check. Draws a special arts hit next on hit, activates twice. Yeah, it's the same exact thing as Goku. So they're drawing a lot of green cards, man. Okay, so Goku's green card is not an AoE green. This is a stop time. Restores own ki by 40, switch gauge by 60%, 60% vanishing gauge, 25% damage. Cover null for 10 counts and destroys all of your enemies' green cards. This is pretty good stop time green, for sure, because you get your switch gauge by 60%. So, I mean, this is pretty reminiscent of, like, fusing Goji to blue, to be honest. Vanishing gauge by 60% too. Yeah, solid. Going to Piccolo makes you go back to being a red character. You draw a green card. Going back to Piccolo and drawing a green card is insane, because you just get free AoE green. Restores health by 15% and 50% damage inflicted. I assume most of this is going to be the same as Piccolo. Except Goku does extra damage against powerful opponent and regen. Okay. Card draw speed, blast arts cost. Yeah, it's basically the same thing. Falling effects occur when this character is the battlefield or enters the battlefield with attack switch. Represent ki by 35. Yeah, that's the same. Everything there is the same. Once falling effects self every 3 timer counts the character is the battlefield. Yeah, that's the same as well. Effect resets with the character switcher when pack switching. Plus falling effects self upon landing a strike or a blast arts hit. Draws a card. 50% damage. Yeah, that's the same. Okay, so basically they're the same character. It looks like. Goku also has a cover change against strikes. When the enemy cover changes, you get 30 key, card draw speed. And then he seals a blue card. And then he seals another card as well. Once flying affects itself out, or sorry, to allies when the character uses arts card. Yeah, same. Heals by 10%, switch gauge by 20%, reduce enemy gauge. Yeah, same. Okay, so they're basically the same character. The only major difference, I think, is the green cards are different. And Goku and Piccolo both do extra damage against certain tags. That's really the only major thing here. But other than that, they're essentially the same character, which is fine because it makes it a lot easier to remember what they're doing. So there's Goku and Piccolo and Garlic Jr. I think I'm probably going to like Goku and Piccolo better. They just seem like a better, more complete character to me. Garlic Jr., once he transforms, can be pretty interesting, I think. But I'm a little bit concerned about Garlic Jr.'s pre-transformation state. I don't know. It doesn't seem that impressive to me. Okay. Let's take a look at equipment. I believe we have a new Awakened equip this week. Okay, we have this as well, which is, I think, is going to be the new PvP equip. Same style as usual? Yeah. Sagas from the movies. Okay, so we got 18% strike defense, 10% health, 20% blast defense, and then 10% to strike and blast defense pure if this character is regen. Yeah, obviously this is meant for Garlic Jr. I mean, this is this is honestly, if you're a regen movies character, so like Janemba, any Piccolo. Actually, no, this would work on Goku and Piccolo too, I guess, but I don't know if you want to build them defensively like this. But yeah, Piccolo from the movies, Janemba, Lord Slug, Garlic Jr., they're all going to benefit from this if you want to build them defensively. So, pretty good. Let's see. Oh yeah, we actually have a new co-op equip too, because this, for some reason, this co-op season only was like, was it 2 weeks or one? I think it was only 1 week. Let's see. So we have a Garlic Jr. unique equipment here for co-op. Powerful opponent or movies. That's a lot of characters. 10% to strike attack and blast attack. Base strike attack 12% and base blast attack 12%. And then 12% to pure strike and blast attack when episode sagas from the movies and regen and powerful opponent is a battle member. So this is interesting because Garlic Jr. is not an offensive character, but this is like a purely offensive equip. You're getting 22% to base strike and blast and 12% to pure strike and blast, which is pretty good. I wouldn't really call this game breaking. Like, it doesn't have the staple HP stats, doesn't have like these like huge base defense numbers on here either. Okay. Wouldn't call this staggeringly good, but it's certainly not bad. The only reason why I don't think they made it insanely good is because it's very expansive. Like, there's a lot of like powerful opponent or movies. There's a billion characters that can use this. So we should also have a new Awaken equip this week as well, I believe. Let's see. It is Janemba's equip. Okay. This is regen and movie. Okay, that makes sense. Regen and movies. Base strike defense 20%, special move damage 10%, health restoration 10%, and then strike attack 38%. You couldn't have slapped health on this. Like, you know, 5% health in slot 1 maybe. A lot of strike attack though. 38% strike attack. Special move, health restoration. Yeah, I would say this is just okay. I wouldn't really go out of my way to spend a ton of resources trying to roll one of these. It's fine. Again, pretty limited. Garlic Jr., Janemba, Slug. I mean, those characters don't really appear much. Obviously, Goku and Piccolo can use this, which honestly probably is going to be very good on them. But actually, no, it's not, because they're blast based. Never mind. Yeah, this wouldn't even be good on them because they're a blast character. Okay. Well, there we go. That is this week's update. We have, I believe we also actually have, I don't know if it's in the news yet. Yeah, I don't think it's in here yet. It's probably going to appear when the reset happens. But there's going to be that new difficult mode, like the godly battle mode or something. So I'll probably cover a video on that maybe tomorrow. This is a lot of stuff to do today, both Legends and Dokkan. But that is also, I think, coming out today as well. So let me know what you guys think of Garlic Jr. and Goku and Piccolo. I would even say before the banner even drops, like, this is very clearly a skip for almost every single person that plays this game. You don't need Garlic Jr., you don't need Goku and Piccolo. I would just wait and see what Part 3 is going to be. Probably going to be an Ultra. Part 3, by the way, for this campaign, is probably going to be on the 18th, I guess. I don't know. September is an interesting month. The second week of September is the 11th. Would they really release a character that early? The 11th. It's either the 11th or the 18th are the 2 reset days. The other alternative is they release the character on like the weekend, on like Saturday the 14th or something. I guess could be possible. We'll see. We'll see. Let me know what you guys think of this update. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next one.